do you know at 18 that you're moving out? Why do you wait 7 years before you get married? These things are so normal to you that you don't understand that it's not normal. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Josephine. I'm a YouTuber based in the Netherlands, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I have lived in the Netherlands for over 6 years, and I still have some Dutch culture that shocks me every single time. In today's video, we'll be addressing them all, okay? I'll be sharing with you some Dutch culture shocks that I still experience as a Nigerian living in the Netherlands, and I've stayed here for over 6 years. Hope you're ready. Without further ado, let's get on with this video. The first culture shock is the tiki culture. I've had so many stories regarding the tiki culture here, and some of them shock me every single time. One that I've heard that was very shocking to me was that someone was invited for a birthday party or something, and then the person showed up expecting that whoever organized the party is supposed to pay, right? Well, not in the Netherlands, because after she had the party and went home, she was sent a ticket to pay her own fair share, and she was so shocked. She was like, if I had known that I was going to pay, why did I go? I would have just stayed at home, right? Another thing that typically also happens with this tiki culture is that you can go out with maybe your colleagues or your friends, and when you go out, you see people like drinking, eating and everything, and you're just assuming that, okay, even if I'm going to pay, right, I'm going to pay just the amount that I ate. So you get there, you're eating according to your pockets, okay? You're eating slowly, you're not consuming alcohol, you're not eating out of the world. Then you see other people, you know, eating as much as they want, just munching as much alcohol. And then when you get back home, you're sent a ticket, and what they've done is that they've divided the entire money, the entire amount that was spent that day, and then they divided it equally amongst everyone that attended. That part is the part that gets me every single time. I'm like, if you're gonna make me to pay for coming to your party, please charge me for what I ate, okay? Don't put the entire amount for those people that have been drinking, eating, doing everything. You will put the whole money and then divide it equally for me to pay. Why should I pay for you to drink if you could not pay to entertain me in your own house or in your own party? Please. So yeah, the tiki culture gets me every single time. So if you're Dutchy, let me know, what do you do in a situation where you're being asked to pay equal amounts with other people who spent a significant amount in the party? This one that I just showed you is just one of it, okay? The one that shook me and my husband to the bones is that recently, I think a few months ago, someone that he knows sent him a ticket to pay the person €1. €1. That one, it kind of just, it blew me away. My husband has not recovered from the shock, okay? He's still telling me, man, I cannot believe I was sent €1 ticket. Please, Dutch people, just let me know, why would anyone send you a €1 ticket? It's just €1. Why is it that the tiki culture is so prevalent here in the Netherlands, and it's just something that nobody wants to let go? Now, I'm Nigerian, so where I am, if I invite you for a party, you're coming for my party, okay? I'm the one that will organize everything. I'll provide food, I'll provide drinks, I'll provide everything you need. The only thing you need to do is just come for the party because I invited you for the party. That's how it works. But here in the Netherlands, it's very, very different. You can be invited for a party, but you're expected to pay for whatever you eat from the party. Now, the next Dutch culture shock is the fact that you have to bring a birthday cake and share it amongst people when it's your own birthday. Now, listen, in Nigeria, right? When is your birthday? It is normal for people to throw a surprise party for you. You know, it's normal for people to buy you a cake, you know, buy you gifts. Your birthday is typically a very special day for you. So nobody expects you to buy your own cake and then share your own cake amongst others on your own birthday. I don't know how to deal with this, I'm not even gonna lie. At work, anytime it's maybe one of my colleagues' birthday and they have to bring the cake and then share the cake amongst everyone, it just baffles me every time. It's just something I don't know how to get used to because it's so different. It's so different from what I'm used to, okay? Typically when it's my birthday, what I'm used to is that people buy the cake for me, people shower me with gifts, and then when it's their birthday, I buy the cake for them, I shower them with gifts. I don't know how to deal with this. It's still a culture shock for me, and yeah. Now another culture shock that gets me every single time is the Dutch medical system and their approach. So in Nigeria, the medical system is a little bit different, where we take a more preventative approach to things. So once you start feeling sick, you know, you're not sick yet though. Once you just start feeling sick, start having headache, even your doctors will tell you that's the best time to come to the hospital. Come and check yourself and make sure that you're feeling good, and make sure that things are in order. Not when things get out of hand and then you start coming to the hospital. This is typically the type of advice you will hear from doctors in Nigeria. However, in the Netherlands, it's just very different, and I don't know how to get used to this. Okay, I'm struggling at this stage. When you're sick and you call the doctors, or first of all they'll ask you how long have you been sick. You tell them what's happening to you. Then out of their own magnanimity or abundance of the heart, they'll tell you, okay, you need to go back and take some paracetamol, then come back next 2 weeks if you're still feeling the pain, or come back next 3 weeks if you're still having a stomach pain. I don't know how to get used to it. I just don't know. The other day, I think my husband hurt himself in his hands or somewhere, I can't remember. Luckily, at least got an appointment because they needed to check to make sure that he wasn't hurt in any way. And then when he went there, even though he was in pain, they just looked at him and they were like, okay, you can just go home, take paracetamol, and after like 6 days, if you're still feeling the pain, come back. Most times when they tell you wait 6 days, it actually works, and that's what shocks me every single time. A lot of times, maybe 5th day, you're still feeling the pain. In fact, maybe the morning of the 6th day, you're still feeling the pain. I kid you not, before your appointment, before it's time for you to just make that call, you automatically get better. I was telling my husband, as if they use jazz. I don't know if you guys know what jazz is, and I'm not sure Dutch people know what jazz is. If you know what jazz is, explain it. Let them know in the comment section what jazz is. But I don't know if their doctors use jazz, because every single time, if they give you 7 days, sometimes you will still be sick 6 days. Once is that the morning of the 7th day, you just feel better. I don't know how they do it. I really don't know, but it's still one of my culture shocks, and it's something that I'm finding it very difficult to deal with. And I actually planned doing a video on this just to see like why the Dutch people chosen that type of approach, because I also worry that, or I have a concern that sometimes wouldn't it be that it will be too late when they eventually take those complaints seriously? Is it possible that it's already too late for some people? Because, you know, some people get sick and then before you know it, the sickness escalates. So I don't know if there are situations like that here in the Netherlands, or how often those type of situations happen. But yeah, they don't take a preventative approach at all. They just come when you're about to die, okay? When the sickness is about to finish you, that's when they are willing to take it seriously. That's also one culture shock for me. Another culture shock is the child independence that you have here in the Netherlands. Now, I'm a mom of 2 boys. My first son just turned 5, and I've seen situations where little kids, maybe 5, 6, just walking around the streets without any adult following them or checking up on them. I've even seen kids, maybe 6, 7 years, cycling by themselves to school. Kids tend to be much more independent here in the Netherlands, and this is just not something that I'm used to. Thinking about it, because I grew up in a smaller town in Nigeria, I used to run errands. I think from 10 years old, roughly, I could maybe go and buy something from the grocery stores and come back home. But generally speaking, especially if you're living in bigger cities in Nigeria, that's not necessarily the case. A lot of times kids have someone watching over them, like an adult with them almost at all times. But thinking about it, while growing up, I actually had similar experience. I think around 8, 10, I could go to the grocery store on my own. I could walk to school on my own. But bear in mind, I grew up in a smaller town, like in a smaller village. So many people knew us. So it was easy for us to, you know, walk safely on the street, I think. Since we're talking about kids' independence, another thing that I don't know how to deal with it. Now that I have kids that are growing up in the Netherlands, I'm still thinking in my head, is this something that I'm going to find myself doing? I'm really not sure. Kids move out from their parents' house when they're 18. Why? When I was 18, oh my days, I don't even want to start saying the type of stupid decisions I was making when I was 18. I'm just so grateful to God that I had my parents' roof to come back to. What do you know at 18? That you're moving out, you're going to get your own house. Listen, it's just a big culture shock, especially as an African, as someone who was raised in Nigeria. It's just difficult for me to imagine. At 18, I was still at the university. It was my second year at the university. My parents still provided for my food. My parents still paid my fees. My parents still paid for my accommodation because I was living in the school. The school had accommodation in the school premises, so my parents still paid for that. It's very normal in Nigerian culture for your parents to put you through school, to take care of you until you're done with your education, done with university, get a job. And as a woman, it's normal for you to stay in your parents' house until you get married, unless you are moving to a different city for work. Then yeah, it's normal for you to then get a home or get an apartment for you to stay there until you're married. Then you move to your husband's house. So imagine the shock that I get every single time when I see kids, because to me 18-year-old, you're still a kid, okay? So imagine when I hear that 18-year-old, they have to get their own home. Sometimes their parents kick them out of the house, you know, for them to learn how to be independent. I even heard that they now have to go and borrow money. Some of them have to take loans to pay for school fees and all that, even when they have parents that are doing well for themselves. I don't know how to process it. I'm sorry. Please just try to explain it to me, the idea or the concept behind it. Because why is it that if a parent is doing well, so let's say you've got a job, you've got a good home, and you can afford to actually pay your kids' school fees, like put them through the university education, why would you rather have the kid take out student loan for their education if you can afford to put them through school? Please let me know in the comment section. Maybe I'm missing out something. Maybe culturally there's just a shift that has not happened in my mind, okay? Because yeah, my parents put me through school. Everybody I know that had parents that were well-to-do in Nigeria, or parents that were comfortable, you didn't even have to be rich. You were just comfortable, you had jobs and you could afford your day-to-day life. Most of those parents put their kids through school, and that's the reason why you see a lot of us, you know, from coming from Africa who are educated, we don't have student loans. And it's not because, you know, our lives are so wonderful in Africa. No, it's because culturally your parents put you through school. The flip side is that I noticed that a lot of times it's normal for kids to inherit maybe a gift when it comes to them buying their first homes. So I noticed, or rather I've heard, that it's very normal for parents to support their kids when they're buying their first homes, give them some, you know, some money for down payment and all of that stuff. So that kind of just, you know, balances out in my opinion. Probably at 18, you send them out to go learn about money. And then by the time they're buying their own homes, their first homes, they've already learned, they've matured to a great extent to handle such amount of money or responsibility. So maybe, I don't know, let me know in the comment section what is the logic behind all this. Now the next culture shock is the type of music I have heard in a lot of Dutch parties. I don't know what that music is, I don't know what the name is, but it goes like I'm sorry, maybe I'm making a whole mess, but that is exactly how this music sounds to me. I don't know what this music is called, but I'm sure just by saying it, you guys already know what I'm talking about. Please let me know in the comment section what is the name of this style of music and why. I think a few months ago, I was invited for a YouTube event here in the Netherlands, and the after party of the event, they had like a DJ, they had a lot of young people dancing, and I was expecting, you know, fun music and all of that. How is it that what I'm hearing in this party, show, and then all the young people in the room, they were just so jumping up, they were hailing the DJ. I'm like, oh, wait, please somebody wake me up, somebody wake me up. Ain't no way, this is the party song. Oh my goodness, I was so shocked. Then when I came back to home, I was just telling my husband, because my husband had told me one time when he went for a party about one type of song, one genre of song that's very common in Dutch parties that is just horrible, it's not nice. So when he told me, I just showed him, I was like, yeah, I don't know, how bad can it be? Oh my days, please, you guys need to come to Africa. Let's show you how to party. Okay, let's show you people music. By the time you're done with the music and the dance and the moves Oh yeah, I'm just having fun at this point. Since we are talking about music, I noticed, right, that Afro beats are very, very common here. I typically would hear this in maybe if I go to a restaurant or a store and they're playing background music. Sometimes you hear a lot of Afro music. You hear Burna Boy, you hear even Davido songs and all of that. It always takes me by surprise, you know. I'm Nigerian, so these songs are, I know these songs. But anytime I hear them, you know, in very strange places, especially in stores, in malls, they always catch me by surprise. I'm like, okay, Afrobeats are quite famous here. Now, another thing that is sort of a culture shock that I'm still trying to get used to is the fact that your neighbor can report you to the Gemeente for noise. Since we bought our own home, from time to time, we get emails or notifications from the Gemeente saying, hey, there is a party that is going to be happening. Be aware or let us know if you have any concerns. Anytime I see those emails, I'm like, oh, please go do whatever you want to do. I don't care. Or sometimes it's just an information, because sometimes behind where we park the cars, they may be having a party, and that means I won't be able to park our cars behind, which is fine. I mean, this area, you have a lot of kids, so from time to time they celebrate their parties. They have those big balloon houses mounted, and kids can go there and play around and stuff like that. So I was shocked when I was having a chat, and he was just mentioning to me that, yeah, it's very normal for people to go and report, or when people receive those emails, to respond that they don't want the party or it's inconveniencing to them. And it's always surprising to me, right? It's not as if there's anything wrong, and I'm very sure Dutch people are also typically direct and they just say things as they are. But I just feel like, you know, reporting your neighbor for noise, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've not had those type of neighbors that are so bad that you have no choice to go and report. Maybe it's the Nigerian in me also. I don't know, reporting somebody to the police, to the Gemeente because of noise. Like, what do you want the Gemeente to do? Arrest the person? Or you hear that there is a kids party and you go and report and say you don't want the party to hold. Like, why? Why do you do that? And I heard also that in different streets, there's always that one neighbor that will report, I will say no, that is just making life a living hell for every other person. See, if you're that neighbor, okay, you know yourself, just stop it. Stop it. Life is too short. Life is too short, okay? Luckily, we've never been reported. We barely party anyway. Let me know in the comment section what you think, or if you've ever experienced this, and let me know also in the comment section the wildest thing someone has ever done to you. Another thing that is definitely culture shock to me is the Dutch fashion sense. Listen, Nigerians, we like to dress for the occasion. We like to look good. If you say come for party, we dress for party. If you say come for wedding, we dress for wedding. Every occasion has their own outfit, okay? Come to work, we dress to work. Come to church, we dress to church. Different occasions have different outfits, but it seems as if in the Netherlands, there is no dress code. The same denim you wear to your friend's house is the same style you wear if you're going for a party, the same style you wear if you're going to work, the same style you wear if you're going for a wedding. Why? I just feel like when it comes to fashion, the Dutch people are just like, I can't be bothered, please just leave me alone. Unreachable. That is very shocking to me. And if you know me, I like to look good. And when I moved to the Netherlands, I'm telling you, it was a big shock for me, because even though I had lived in the UK, the UK is actually not as bad. It's a more class-conscious society than the Netherlands. So you see people actually dress really well, and people spend money on clothes. Because I remember then in the UK, I used to love to go to charity shops, especially in the rich neighborhood. We knew the neighborhoods that were for the rich of the rich, and would typically target the charity shops in those neighborhoods. And there you would get really nice designer pieces, sometimes designer bags, designer clothing, for a fraction of the price. So people put in the effort, you know. British people tend to dress really well. The Netherlands, what's happening? Dutchies, what's going on? It's like the same outfit you wear to school is the same outfit you're wearing to work, is the same outfit you're wearing to party, is the same outfit you're using to go for winkling. You guys like to keep it simple, and I understand that, but it's still going to be a big culture shock for me. Yeah, because I like to look good. I like to dress for different occasions. If I'm going to work, I like to look like I'm going to work. If I'm staying at home, I look homeless, okay? I'm with my big bonnet, looking very homeless. So I dress according to the occasion, okay? I have a YouTube channel and an Instagram page on fashion because I really love fashion. That's not the vibe I get here in the Netherlands, so it's definitely a culture shock for me. As we are still talking about it, why is it that some people feel comfortable wearing dirty sneakers? When I say dirty sneakers, to every single thing. You invite them for party, their sneakers are dirty. To work, some people wear dirty sneakers to work. Why? The work that pays your bill, dirty shoes. Waarom? That is onbegrijpelijk for me. Now the next culture shock, right? I'm gonna get up close and personal here because this one shocked me to the core when I moved to the Netherlands. Actually, the shock started in the UK. Then when I moved, I just don't get it. Now the idea of contraceptive, birth control, sex is just so different here in the Netherlands, and it's just super weird to talk about it, but it was just so different. Now hear me out. I grew up in Nigeria when HIV/AIDS was a big deal. I remember when I just turned 13, when I just became a teenager, there was just this outbreak of HIV/AIDS virus in Nigeria. I don't know if it's to say that there was a spread or that was when there became a big awareness for it in Nigeria. So I remember that we had so many awareness programs talking about having sex with protection, with condoms, and abstinence. Just stay away if you can, or if you don't have a partner, stay away from casual sex or have sex with protection. Make sure that you protect yourself from STDs. A lot of people knew someone who contacted the virus, who contacted HIV or AIDS. For me, I had a family friend. This lady, she helped raise us. She was like a babysitter for us when we were growing up. Sometimes my mom would take us to her place just to stay, and she would care for us, take care of us. And I remember that this lady, her husband was apparently cheating on her and sleeping around. So he contacted HIV and eventually AIDS, and she didn't know, of course. So she also got HIV and eventually AIDS, and they eventually died. So that one hit home for me, and it also hit home for so many people in Nigeria because either the virus was spreading or the awareness was there, let me put it that way, and so many people had someone who was a victim or someone who contacted the disease and eventually lost their life, or for some people who were lucky, who found out that they had HIV before it was too late, before it became AIDS, those people at least were able to manage or are still living and managing their lives with this virus. So it was big, you know, growing up. Think about it. I'm becoming a teenager. I'm learning about my body, sex, and all of those things. I'm learning about abstinence, okay, first of all, because if you're going to engage in casual sex, please use protection. And protection is not birth control. Protection is not just contraceptive. Protection is condoms. Something that will protect you not just from getting pregnant, but also getting the STDs. So this is the idea, okay? To me, pregnancy was not the issue. When you're having unprotected sex, you're not just afraid of being pregnant. Pregnancy was okay. If you get pregnant, so what? But if you get HIV/AIDS, proper STD, how do you go from there? And you live with that for the rest of your life. How do you deal with something that was just so preventable? Because I remember then when we had all these awareness programs, we even had movies in Nigeria sharing this. It was huge, I remember. A lot of these movies or these programs were backed up by international bodies. So I just assume that if international bodies are providing programs to educate us about our sexual health, it will be the same across all countries. Every other person, especially in the West, they should know better. That's what I thought. I'm not saying you don't know better. Listen, don't come for me. I'm just saying that my expectation was that we would have similar culture in terms of protecting yourself, not just for you not to get pregnant, but for you not to get STDs. How is it that I come to the net? First of all, in the UK first, because I'm young and I'm hearing stories. No protection, birth control. I'm like, nah. Pull up. I was like, baby, pull up. Hold up. Yeah, before we get to the birth control talk, where is the protection? And no, it's very normal for people to have unprotected sex, even when they're having sex casually. See, I'm not judging, but I'm telling you, it shook me to the core. I was like, why? How? Is it that you guys don't know what can happen or the risk you are taking? Or yeah, to me it's just as if STDs don't exist in the Netherlands but they exist in Nigeria. How? I'm sorry. Please don't come for me. I'm just observing. I'm telling you what I'm observing. So it feels like the goal or the approach to, you know, casual sex is to protect, yeah, when I'm having you, just protect, make sure you're not pregnant or to disrupt your life. But what about the STDs? Why are you guys having unprotected casual sex? I don't understand. Well, let me know in the comment section. Maybe I'm the one taking it too far. Maybe that's not the way it is, and it's just maybe the people that I had in my circle then that were whispering all those nonsense to me. Maybe that's not the way it is in the Netherlands. Please let me know. Is it common for you guys, especially for the young ones that are not married, that are just having casual sex? Is it normal for you guys not to have? When I say protection, I mean the men protecting themselves with condoms. That's what I mean. The women, a lot of times it's normal for the women to have contraceptives, to have IUDs, all those things. Why is it the women? Let me know in the comment section, okay? I think at this point, some people are already boiling. Now, the last culture shock that even till now, I'm still blown away, and I really need you to explain it to me. Maybe it will help my mind to understand, is why is it that in the Dutch culture it's normal for people to live together for years? You know, you live together, you have kids, 2 kids, 3 kids, buy homes together, living together without being married. And sometimes I wonder, I'm like, okay, what is the difference between what you are doing and being married? What's the difference? I don't know. I understand if you say, okay, I want to live together with you a couple of 1 year, 2 years. I can see where you are coming from. But if you're saying you need to live together with somebody 6, 7 years before you get married, even when you have kids in the relationship, you've bought homes together, what then is the difference between that and marriage? So why are you not saying, okay, let's get married because we are already doing married people stuff. We're already doing married stuff. So why do you then eventually get married? So it's either I'm getting married or I'm not getting married. So why is it that you wait till 7 years, 8 years in a relationship after you've had kids, bought homes, not 1 home, 2 homes, not 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids together? Then when you say, I think we should get married. Why? So like, yeah, it's still very confusing to me. Probably it's just a cultural difference. I really need to understand, how do you view marriage? Why do you wait 7 years before you get married? Is it commitment? Is it that you think you need those number of years to be sure? If you don't see yourself getting married to somebody, why would you want to have kids with a person? If you don't want to be perpetually tied to an individual, why would you want your child to be perpetually tied to the person? I don't know if it makes sense the way I'm seeing it. Maybe I'm just this Nigerian girl. I'm sure some of you will be wondering, which world did they bring me out of, or which zoo did they pick me from? That's okay. Whatever you want to say. Whatever you think. I'm just asking genuine question, because sometimes these things are so normal to you that you don't understand that there are some people that it's not normal. If I'm buying homes with you and I'm having kids with you, that means I see myself spending the rest of my life with you. Because why, if I don't see myself spending the rest of my life with you, why should I want to give you a child? Because that child will have you for the rest of their life. So if I'm not sure about spending the rest of my life with you, why should I put my child in a position where I want put myself? Does it make sense? I don't think it makes sense. Let me know in the comment section. I truly just want to understand, because where I'm from is very, very different. Culturally, religiously, when you find someone that you love, you've dated, obviously you will never know somebody 100%. People change, situations change people. So once you've seen at the stage that that person is in, you are not seeing any red flags, you're seeing that you can spend the rest of it, then you get married. And once you have decided to commit the rest of your life with that person, then you begin to do the things that people who want to stay together forever do. You begin to buy home together, properties together, children together. So it feels a little bit upside down for me that you have lived together, buy home, have kids, and then get married. It's different. So I'm not judging. Just let me know in the comments why that approach seemed to be a better approach for you. Also, I used to think that the reason why this is that maybe you get to know each other better, and then it means that, you know, when you get married, you're actually sure and you're living together forever. When I thought about it, okay, maybe that's the reason. I actually, you guys don't want to, you want to try me? I actually went online and searched the divorce rates, right, from the 1960s up until now. So why did I check for divorce rates? I was checking by taking a different approach. So by saying, you know what, we're not going to get married before having kids or buying a house. We are first going to live together, have kids together, buy homes together. By taking that approach, maybe what it would mean is that when they eventually get married, divorce rates go down. That was my expectation, because if you're now saying that you're very sure about this person after spending years with that person before you get married, before you commit to be with that person forever, what it means is that more people are going in much more sure, and that means divorce rates should be less. But that was not the case. Actually, when I went online, I think after the 1960s, where there was a significant rise in the divorce rates, it's pretty much been same. So it goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down. It means that when people used to take the traditional approach of get to know the person, get married, that when people took that approach, it still yielded the same results with when people take the approach of, oh, let's be sure, let's be careful, let's buy a house, let's have kids, let's live together for a couple of years and see if we like each other. Even after that approach has been taken, the divorce rates are still the same, meaning that even after staying, knowing each other for many years, people still get divorced. And it still boils down to what I say, people change, right? Things happen in relationships change and all of that, and there's just, you never are sure. You're just never sure. You cannot, even if you've known that person for 10 years, you don't know what's going to happen on the 11th year. Sometimes it takes one event, one life event, to change someone significantly. So you just never know. So in my opinion, when you see someone you like, you see someone you love, marry the person. That's my opinion. Oh yeah, that's just what I'm thinking. When you see someone you love, why are you waiting 10 years to decide? Yeah, if you don't like what you're seeing in the Netherlands, go back to your country. No, I'm not going. I don't like what I'm seeing, and I'm not going back to my country. Yes, come and beat me. Yes. All right, everyone. So these are some of the Dutch culture shocks, things that I'm experiencing here in the Netherlands that still shock me to the core. I feel like anytime I experience, I'm like, that's strange. That's different. It's just something I'm not used to. And even after 6 years, those things still shock me every single time. If you're Dutch, let me know. If there's something that I've said here that's very normal and you didn't even think it was a culture shock to anyone, let me know in the comment section. And if you have any answers to some of the questions that I've asked, let me know in the comment section. Now, if you're a foreigner living here in the Netherlands, is there anything that I said here that you agree? Are there other culture shocks that I did not mention here that you are experiencing right now in the Netherlands? Let me know in the comments. Thank you once again for watching. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Click the notification button so you're notified anytime I upload a video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.